good morning, everybody. Welcome to Oaklawn Capping Hour. We have an awesome show this morning, and we are joined by Chris Inman, who is currently fourth on the NHC Tour. We'll talk about that and the standings and all that stuff in a little bit. And we have a special guest, Bob Dawson, otherwise known as, I've been saying Red Pen Bob, but if you have another moniker, Bob, or a nickname, you could let us know about it. But Bob has a tip sheet that he does in Houston, and you guys are like bar stools at the bar over there at the track. I know where to find you guys if I have to whack you guys, just so you guys know. But but Bob, thanks for joining in, Chris. Bob, start us off. Tell us a little bit about your Red Pen tip sheet that everybody can see on the thumbnail.
Well, it's basically just something I've been doing for the last couple of years. I like playing Oaklawn, and I've spent a bunch of time on it, so I started writing stuff down on a piece of paper and sending it to people like Chris and his dad, and got a lot of crap about it, and I just kept doing it. And I think I got like 20, 30 people that count on it on the weekends.
That's cool.
And it's still free, you know.
It's still free.
And it's free. And so if somebody wanted to, I mean, so when you say it's free, someone taps you on the shoulder. Do you have copies of this thing? Do you?
No, it's just something I email.
You email it
or text? You get a text.
I email it, and I have the original with me at the track, and people can look over my shoulder if they don't want to look on their phones.
And I've seen a copy of this thing, and there's a lot of work into it. I mean, I know what I do every day for Oaklawn, and I guess I want to ask you, why Oaklawn? I know why me and Marco pick Oaklawn, but why do you like Oaklawn?
Well, Steve, I've been going to Oaklawn since the early 90s. I used to go with my father and brother, and we would stay at the old Majestic Hotel at the end of Central. Yeah, that was always a trip. We'd go down there for 3-4 days, and my dad loved betting on Pat Day when he owned that place.
Yep.
And we'd stay at the Majestic and just make a trip out of it. And I just like Oaklawn. It's a hard track to handicap. I've been following it for years. Other than Saratoga, I concentrate on Oaklawn, and then get a break, and then go to Saratoga in the summer. But I like Hot Springs. I like the people. I like the food there, and spend a bunch of time at Rockies.
There you go.
And you know, I like following the jocks and the horses at Oaklawn.
Yeah, Oaklawn has been a staple in our family for a long time because we have a lot of roots that moved down from Chicago there in the 70s. And it's funny you mentioned Pat Day. I don't know if this is true or not, but did he get kicked off the grounds for smoking a little weed back in the day, or is that not true?
I've never heard that story.
Okay, I thought I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, he owned that place, right? I mean, he would.
Yep.
I mean, he would win 4 or 5 races a day, usually on the chalk.
Pat Day, yeah. You know, Oaklawn. I mean, I have a lot of memories there. We race horses there now. It's hard to win there. Right. I mean, especially lately with all the casino money. And you know, I tell everybody, I can't tell you how many prominent horse players that have never been there. I know you guys have been there, but there's horse players across the country that haven't been there, mainly because they don't carry the NHC contest or BCBC contest anymore.
Right.
But it's shocking because it really is truly like the Saratoga of the South.
It sure is. Sure is.
To get to Saratoga, you have to fly to Albany. Then you drive into, Saratoga Springs.
Right.
You got to fly to Little Rock, drive a little bit to get into Hot Springs. I know there's an airport there, and maybe from Dallas you could fly into Hot Springs. But for the most part, if you're anywhere across the country, you have to fly to Little Rock and drive there. But man, the lakes, the mountains, like you said, the people, the restaurants, the racing is top notch. Now they have a casino. And it's just a great time. I urge everybody that hasn't been to Oaklawn to get there.
#1 destination.
Number
When
one.
we going, Chris? When are we going?
It's during baseball season. It's tough for me to get out.
Yeah, baseball seasons. Pitchers and catchers have reported, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the majors anyway.
Right. Yeah. Right. Marco's gone.
We lost Marco. He'll be back. But so yeah, the red pen tip sheet. I thought that's a really cool thing. I know I do a lot of stuff by hand myself. You know, it's not as elaborate as what you have, but then I'll put it on paper, and then Marco will put it on the computer. We'll print it out, and then I do a lot of stuff digitally now. But I like writing stuff down myself, and it helps me think, I think. And I do have Formulator on the computer, which I could put trip notes in on Formulator. I could write notes on horses that'll pop up next time they run, or we have our little box on the right-hand side that we could add things. So
Okay.
I like that about Formulator. Let's see, Marco.
Man,
There you are.
I'm having all sorts of internet problems.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's awesome. Anyway, we like to talk about a lot of different things in the show. We'll get into the NHC talk. So NHC news, there is a horse. It's actually horse players, and it's 210. So I'll have to fix that graphic. But if you guys want to play and try and qualify for the NHC, there is a horse players contest today. There's a few of them. You can get in a feeder today for $56 if you've never won a seat, to get in one in one of those low ratio games for $500. So if you hit the $56 game, I'm not recommending you buy in for $500 unless you've got a lot of money, but the $56 feeder will get you into the $500 game, and there's usually only maybe 10 or 20 people in there, and it's a lot easier to qualify. There's also a $210 game. There's tour points, I believe, on this one. I would imagine, Chris, you're going to be playing in this one, or at least the feeders.
It's 8th grade girls basketball championship day for me and my.
You won't be playing in this.
Gonna pass today, probably.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm looking at this one. This one might not have the entries that you need.
It won't have enough.
Yeah. Getting to the tour real quick. We do want to mention that Chris is currently 4th and has been 4th for a while. You're stuck in that top 5. You're just outside of that lead. You need, you do have a score of 1853 that you can erase with one of these higher scores and make it a run here. I mean, you have a shot to win it all. You're looking at some good money either way. But
yeah, you got to pick a winner, Steve. I don't think I've picked a winner since about December 10th. So, maybe I can turn it around. We'll see what happens.
It's cyclical. We'll see what happens. But you are top 4 on the tour, and it's harder for you. You're in Texas. You have to play mostly on the horse players and horse tourneys contests, unless it's a Sam Houston or a Lone Star contest. So you can't play Express Bet, correct? You can't play Twin Spires, all that stuff, being in Texas, which I don't fully understand. That's above my pay grade. Won't get into it. But anyway, Chris is currently 4th on the tour. Let's root him home and see what he can do in the near future here, which, by the way, the tour ends on the 23rd of this month.
2 more Fridays, I think.
Yep. Marco, weather. I hear it's warm down there, possibly cloudy. Is the track going to be fast?
Yes.
That's all we need to know.
Fast track. It's a beautiful morning.
And it's warm, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Because up here in Wisconsin,
it's warming up as we speak.
You got some snow and stuff, and it's cold as hell. All right. Good stuff, man. Let's dive into some racing. We're going to dive into the first race. Me and Marco. Real quick. Me and Marco. There's another tournament that people can play. Twin Spires. They've been having feeders for this thing, but this is the $500 Sam F. Davis Oaklawn qualifier. Me and Marco, qualified on a feeder, but if you want to get in, it's $500, $250 bankroll, $250 prize pool. You have to bet at least 7 races between Tampa and Oaklawn and your entire $250 bankroll. So you can bet all of Oaklawn, all of Tampa, mix it up, but you have to bet at least 7 races. So if you hit a big race early, make sure you don't get DQ'd. I've been known to get DQ'd at tournaments. All right. Racing. Guys, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty. The first race is a $50,000 claiming event. Purse is $68,000. We're going a mile and a 16th. And with a nice fast strip and warm weather, it should play, I guess, even today. A little speed favoring yesterday. I had some horses that I thought could catch the leader yesterday. The leaders re-broke, and I ended up running second 5 times. So hopefully today we'll pick some winners. Bob, Red Pen, I want to start you off. You landed on the 1 here, specifically the 1A. Why don't you tell us about it?
No, in race 1, Steve.
Excuse me. You landed on the 2.
Right.
And so did Marco. You and Marco have the same picks.
Well, I think the 2 is very logical, and I watched the races yesterday as well, and speed was just dominating until maybe the last few races.
Right.
Maybe the 8th or 9th we had a closer, but I think after that it started playing fair. So I'm counting on a fair track today. And this 2 horse in race 1, I don't think he liked the mud last time, and he's dropping. First time in for a tag. I just think he's my number 1 pick, and I think McPeak's horse, the 1, has a good shot of running second.
Okay. Marco, you also like the 2, same sentiment as Bob?
Definitely agree with that. I believe he's also been running in some tougher races. And plus you have 2 back on the stage, came back and won at Oaklawn in a $100,000 allowance race. Actually, Willie beat that horse 2 back. And on the stage came back at Oaklawn and win. And then Bishop's Bay in that last race is a monster. And yes, you're right. This horse hates the mud, hates it. So if it was raining, I would not use this horse. However, today is going to be fast track. Willie D's top pick.
Okay, yeah, 0 for 4 on a wet track, and it's fast today. So we'll see if he could break his streak at Oaklawn and finally get a win there. Drops into a level where, that last race was super, super tough. So this is an easier spot. Chris, you went to the outside there with Coinage for Steve Asmussen.
This was a tough race. I didn't really like the favorites much. And, what I noticed about Coinage, switching over to Steve Asmussen, but they had that horse on the poly, the turf. Bar Gold's the dam. Bar Gold won a dirt sprint in Breeders' Cup, years ago. And this horse has only had 5 chances on the fast dirt and is 2 wins and 2/3. That race 3 back probably wins this race. And I'm hoping that they send and can hold that lead.
Yeah, I took a peek at this one for a long time, and I agree with you. It's going to probably be the pace setter, one that can maybe do some damage on the front end. It was claimed by Asmussen, and for him to run it here for 50 tells you that this runner is probably doing really well. It's bred really well too, like you mentioned. It's not only out of a Medaglia d'Oro broodmare who won a Breeders' Cup, but it's by Tappet as well. So, we'll see. That race at Aqueduct, when it got the front, it puffed its chest out, kept going. If it could do something like that again, 12-1 looks like a nice price. My pick's kind of boring. American Law, Christian Torres. I love the barn, the artist formerly known as Broberg. This horse is 2 for 2 routing at Oaklawn Park. So I want to stick that feather in my cap and ride it. And, I just like the connections and, drawn on the outside, I could see things develop out there. We're getting off of the rail. We did win from the rail, but it won from the 8-post 3 back in December at a cheaper level as well. So we'll see what happens. Poulterer in that race is an oldie but goodie. So it's always tough to win at Oaklawn. You see a 16 claymate at Oaklawn and you're thinking it's easy. Well, that's an allowance race at Hawthorne. So, all right. I think we covered that race pretty well there. Let's move on to race 2 for the second leg of the early pick 5 and the early double. It is a 12.5 non-3 life going the short stretch of the mile. And Bob, this is where you have the 1A.
Yeah, I really like this horse today. Dropping, looks like he's been racing into shape rather than working out. He's owned by Flurry. They like to win, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's stretching out, dropping, Flurry. I don't know what his odds were pretty good, I think.
You mean the owner standings or the morning line?
No, the odds on the entry.
It's 7-2.
7-2.
Right.
He's a standout to me. He could be a single.
Yeah. You get one for the price of 2. The other horse isn't bad either. And
Right.
Marco Fleury haven't they been a little bit quiet this year?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot more quiet than they were last year.
Maybe less stock.
And I haven't seen as much stock. But
it's still Fleury. It's still Fleury racing.
Yeah, they got some good horses, and
yeah, they won the owner's title last year. Okay.
I have a stat that I kept and that I look up every year. When Fleury's with Dan Ward, they win at 50%.
Look out.
So that's that kind of gets me pretty worked up on that horse.
That's the kind of information you get from the red pen
tip sheet. That's right. I didn't know that. I would have to dig a little deeper to get that information. Chris, you're on the 6. JT's Imagination. It's Brad Cox, who's been hot lately. He was 0 for, 28 maybe, and now he's 6 for his last 12. And you got Christian Torres in the irons, and you're dropping down to your lowest level.
Yeah, that's it. I just thought the horse had a class edge. I didn't really like anybody. I basically just kind of scratched into this horse. I do like Bob's horse a little bit, which I have as my second choice. But I just couldn't talk myself into anybody else. I don't like the 3. The 5's interesting a little bit, but I kind of just sort of settled for the 6, just thinking it's just got a little bit of a class edge.
Okay. Duly noted. And you're right. It does. And it's owned by Blake Cox. I'm assuming the son or brother, probably a son of Brad Cox. You don't like the 3. Me and Marco land on a 3.
Yeah.
Seas of Normandy. It's I like the connections of this one. Marco, I know you're a big fan of Esquivel. I'm a big fan of Cipriano Contreras. I think the 12-hole compromised this one a little bit last time. We do have speed. I'm hoping we show more speed today. And 9-2, maybe we get every bit of that and then some. The race 2 back was really tough. You have Dance Samoa in there and What's Up, Doc? And, those are 2 really nice horses. And a little bit of relief last time, but it was just hung out there a little bit. And I'm hoping we get a little bit of a better try. I'd like to be forwardly placed today. What say you?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I had this one written up. You got to be in that first flight. Otherwise, I don't know if this one's going to get there. Got it. Yeah, you have to be in the first flight.
The race last March was really good. It didn't get the lead, but it settled nicely and drew. It likes Oaklawn, I think. I think the race 2 back was just way too tough. This is a logical spot. We do have to worry about the Cox drop, class dropper, and of course Bob's pick that I'm probably going to end up throwing that one now in my pick 5.
Especially if he scratches the other part of the entry.
That would even be more conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one here would have to run probably the race of his life. He's won for his last 14, hasn't won. Well, he did win at Louisiana Downs for non-2 life for a nickel. Yeah, they might scratch that one.
Right.
All right, race 3 is a maiden special weight. And these maiden special weights are always interesting. I was between it was the 2 and the 8 for me was a coin flip. I had the 2 on top, then I had the 8 on top, then I had the 2 on top, then I had the 8 on top, and I stayed with the 8. And there's no secret with the 8. It's a half or a full. I forgot the Mystic Dan, whatever. Those always disappoint. This is a 4-year-old. I don't know what was wrong with it. Zenyatta didn't race till late.
No, this isn't the Mystic Dan one. That's in the later.
No.
Oh, is that the other one? Okay, my bad. I'm going
Yeah.
off memory. I picked one that was a half to. Maybe I didn't pick that one. Maybe that's the one I didn't pick. Okay. So this one isn't the half to Mystic Dan.
But
okay.
This one's got like 3 siblings that won first out. The mama won second out at Oaklawn. I mean, it's certainly bred early.
Yeah, Twixie won first time asking.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 siblings won 3.
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 won first time. One of them had a second.
Yeah, actually a couple. Well, this one you got to show more lines. But yeah, they're prominent early. Okay. They spent a lot of money on it. And, you see these, they always disappoint. But the coach, I don't know, he's doing pretty well. And, that last work, I don't have that last work. I do have this work here, and we'll watch it. This was from, I don't know, can you guys see it?
December. Yeah.
December 21st.
Mm-hmm.
So is this $1 million horse? I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know when it comes to looking at horse flesh, but I thought this was a good move, and it has subsequent drills that are just unbelievable. And I felt like this race wasn't like, holy cow, like there's a tough one in here that we got to beat.
Looks like a horse.
Yeah.
That's about all I can say about it.
But no, I'm just showing the work because someone out there might know what they're looking at. I seen a lot of horses work in the morning for my brother and my dad, and they all look cool.
Yeah,
making that noise out there. I like it. I mean, it looks good out there. Yeah. But if you look at some of the other drills, they're good. And the last drill on February 3rd, out of the gate, 47-4. I mean, the drill on the 27th of January was 4 out of 82, 49 flat. Must have been a semi-slow track that day, but it was 4 out of 82. So she's feeling good, and whatever, I don't know, maybe she had a bad shin buck, maybe she had some other little issues, maybe there's an abscess, maybe there was a quarter crack. I don't know. It could have been any number of reasons why this filly hasn't run up until now. But scrolling through the field, there's not a lot in here. There's a couple other firsts. I remember Take Her Back, playing that one at 35-1 with some trip notes last year. I'm not going to play it today.
That horse,
Ride the Broom. I mean, Ride the Broom had a decent little drill, but I'm not going to go off just the one drill. The 2, to me, if everything, there's a lot of newbies. There's some speed in here. You got second-time blankers. Maybe this one can close and finally graduate. That was my thinking, why I was going to put this one on top. But I just went 8-2 ultimately, and Marco is what – I mean, I don't know. You like the 8 as well.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't take a lot of first-time starters. I love maiden races, though. They're my favorite races. Mm-hmm. And this one just has all the things that I like for a firster. Everything about it is appealing. So, I mean, pretty much everything except for Nick Juarez. So
Well, I honestly, man, I don't mind Nick Juarez. I think he's a good journeyman rider. He's probably all right. So you don't like him. He's 6%. I'll give you that, but he's capable.
D. Wayne shows a positive ROI with Nick Juarez at Oaklawn. Can't discount that.
no.
But I'm going to throw a little cold water. The reason I don't have the 8 on top is based on Formulator. It looks like D. Wayne hasn't won with the first timer since like summer of 23. And
yeah, he's 0 for 23 last 2 years.
And as far back as it goes, he's never won with a firster at Oaklawn. I couldn't put that horse on top, and I like the 2 for all the reasons that you said.
Yeah, the 2 just makes a ton of sense in here, just because it might be a little too quick early. I think a lot of these are going to be keen, and they're going to show a lot of speed, and he's the only one that looks like he might want to settle and make a nice closing run, and he's got the best late time form, and he's also working well, leading up to these races, and he might get the setup. Last time they went a half in 47, I would imagine the half mile would be a lot quicker today. And the second time blinkers angle, I almost put this one on top, but you know what? Maybe it takes $1 million horse to break the streak for D. Wayne Lukas.
Maybe.
Bob, you went all the way to the rail with Stipulate.
Yeah. Let me talk about the 8 a little bit first. I mean, Nick's, according to my stats, 17% riding for Lukas at Oaklawn, but Chris is right. Lukas hasn't won with a first-time starter. He's 0 for 9 for the last 3 meets. So I put him second, but I like the 1 because I like Amos shipping in from the fairgrounds. That's been a strong angle this year at Oaklawn. I think Amos won 1 or 2 yesterday, but the 1 horse is moving from the outside to the inside. The sloppy track last time was 6 furlongs. Maybe didn't like that good getting Bejarano, but I like the fact that he's coming up here for the bigger purses, spending the money to ship him here, and he got Bejarano. So we'll see.
Yeah, it ran much better in debut on a fast strip, and we're going to have it again today. It was the beaten favorite last time in the slop, and maybe you can forgive that one from the 11 hole. And, show a little bit of get position early and relax. Even if there's a couple in front of you, just get a spot. Or, I don't know, if you can go, you can go. I do want to point out about statistics. We mentioned D. Wayne Lukas 0 for 9 and all that. And, yes, he's 0 for 23 last 2 years. Chris, you probably played the $75 horse players game yesterday or no? Okay. And if you remember at Tampa Bay, there was a 0 for 46 trainer and a 0 for 49 jockey, and they won 2 races in a row together at Tampa Bay. I was scratching my head. I threw my hands up in the air, but if those guys can win,
yeah,
I'm going to go with the coach.
Can you get the 7 real quick in this race?
Oh, let me go back. Yeah, hold on.
Talk to me. What's going on with John Ortiz? Why can't he get it going? Anybody got any info on that?
That's a good question.
I agree. Last year he was really good last year. This year he's off to a slow start.
Killed it at Saratoga last summer.
He did.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking for him to wake up. I mean, I'm going to use that 7
Me
horse
too.
because I like Gervin babies.
Yeah.
I've been waiting too. I picked. I loved. I don't know if you saw the show yesterday or the first race yesterday. I loved a horse he had in the first race at 14-1, and it was just a weird strip. It looked like I was going to range up and pass that pace setter, and I just couldn't get past, and just missed by half a length. But he, I think he's just, I don't know. It's Oaklawn. Maybe that's all I can say. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that. It took Brad Cox a little while to get going. Maybe Ortiz will make a move here. But yeah, you're right. He's off to a slow start. I can't put my finger on it though. His horses are running good. They're just not winning.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Just need to get a win to break the streak. We have another maiden special weight in race 4 here. This is for state breds. So we got some Arkies. Bob, I know you love these Arkies. Marco, you want to start us off? You're in the one hole here with 409. What do you like about the Bruce Riken runner here?
He's about to be 1 for 19.
Okay.
I like here. You got a second-time starter. He was somewhat interested in the last race. I watched the replay. Got tired. I really like the jockey upgrade here. I took this horse last time off that last work. And first timers it's hard to win. Obviously, second time out is big improvements, and with the jockey upgrade, I think this horse has a big chance here. The group itself, throw some darts. There's a lot of firsters and whatever, so.
All right,
we'll see what happens.
Every horse deserves another out after whatever. I mean, they always improve, usually second time out, unless they have traffic issues or an injury. And you're right, you have a big jock upgrade here. I think that might be all the difference in the world. Was working well going into that last race, so why not? Bob, you're also on this one, so you great minds think alike here. Were you and Marco?
Right. Steve, I don't know if you remember when you were down there for the tournament and you and I talked about this horse. I think you liked it then, or maybe it was Mark, but we talked about it.
We did. Yeah, that's right.
And he was a big long shot. I like B Jersey as a sire. 19%, I think, was what B Jersey's running at, or his babies are winning at. And why is Christian Torres on this horse? He can ride anything he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he pick this horse? And I go back to a stat that I have. When he rides for Riken, that's how you pronounce his name, Riken, he wins at 75%.
I guess. Uh-oh.
Say that again, Bob.
When he rides for Riken, at Oaklawn only, he wins at 75%.
Wow.
I assume that's 3 for 4?
Yeah, it's in a limited number of samples.
Still.
Yeah. But the key to me, Chris, and everybody is, why is he on this horse? I mean, he could take the race off. He could ride for anybody. Why is he on this horse?
Well, let's just point out this is a $110,000 purse.
Right.
But you're right. He could have ridden for maybe Ortiz or
Exactly.
Asmussen. Well, Asmussen's going to throw his kids on there. Moquette, the runner that I like. Marco, there's your guy, Burrell. Mike Maker's on the also eligible list. And Chris Hartman. So I'm kind of hoping those two don't get in.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, me too. I don't want either one of them getting in.
Yeah, I know.
If the 14 gets in, he'd have to really consider that horse.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, I would consider, both of those heavily. The 14, as well. Yeah, both of those would be considered heavily. Chris, you went to, it looks like Personal Jet, and I don't know. It looks to me, I didn't watch the replay of the Delta Downs, but it looks like it just got lost into outer space and made a big move here for 5 panels.
Yeah, I mean, if you clicked on it and watched it, you'd see. I mean, he definitely he's flying late. I think that late interest is a bit understated. You could probably watch the first few seconds and then.
Yeah, it's 5 furlongs, so I might as well watch it. So you don't even see you on the screen.
I mean, no chance, right?
I like, what is going on here? This is a 5-panel race. This is obviously maidens, and you have disappeared into oblivion. You're 16 lengths out. This
Looks like every horse I bet on the Friday contest.
This is like Zenyatta in the 2010 Classic. and still nowhere to be found. I'm sure we're going to see a little blur come from somewhere. Where are you?
It takes a while.
Where are there? You are, and of course you're going to take the 5, 6, 7 path way to hell out there.
And if you notice, the horses on the front just sort of cruise all the way around. The 3's making up a little ground. And you got to be patient now.
Oh, look at that, boy!
Yeah, here it is.
And are we going to get a nice gallop out? That's what we want to see. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, I looked at that horse.
And these are hey, I gotta tell you, I love watching replays. This one slipped me. Maybe I glanced through the state bred race, but that was open company at Delta, but that was open company, and now you're against the Archie breds. And that was actually a 40 number is pretty good. I think the idea here is to, I guess, break a little bit better, and you got a little bit more real estate. Why not?
Well, I think the price, if it was a little bit higher price, I'd like it more. But the other thing is he's got the last 3 siblings that hit the ground, all won first out. So, there's some precocity in there. I don't know.
Oh boy, this is something.
Plus you got a $500,000 earner in there.
Well, you got all kinds of
family of runners.
But a bunch of them.
Actually, there's a lot of nice little runners in here, and
the other thing about that 7, Chris, that I like is that's the trainer of Free Like a Girl, who's the won more money for any Louisiana bred ever. She trained Free Like a Girl, and this owner, Karoon, is one of their top owners over the year for mainly her father, Carl DeVille, who's not running at Oaklawn this year. But Casey, I talked to her at Delta a 3 weeks ago, and she's a really up and coming trainer. Like I said, she trains Free Like a Girl, who I think runs later in the card.
Yeah, and the Stake, who I like, and we'll talk about.
Right. So I think she's got a good shot.
I like it. I mean, when you see a horse in a debut that figures it out mid-race like that, that's pretty interesting. And I think it's just going to be, actually, this is going to be much watch TV or horse racing for the Oaklawn card to see what this horse is going to do, I think.
Yeah.
Just based on that replay. It's going to be fun to watch. And the purse is great. I love seeing them ship it in here. It's an Archie bred.
Right.
It ran pretty incredible there. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go for that money.
Yep.
I went with the 9. It's kind of a boring 3-1 pick. This horse is just working too well. I've got one of the works. Again, you guys can tell me what you guys think, but this was a drill I watched. It's in company on the outside, and it dispatches of this one relatively easy, and then they catch company, going into the I think into the far turn, but you could see that just running within itself, kind of getting out there a little bit, wants to go a little harder, and the guy now he's giving a little couple, but he's getting out a little bit, but he's giving a couple of punches. And he just does it all on his own. And all the works are super quick. And Ron Moquette is no stranger. Kind of, beats that horse easy. And I think here's the other 2 coming in here. So they kind of, but the work is over. But I thought it was pretty good. It looks like we'll see if it needs blinkers after the race. I didn't like the head being cocked, but all the workouts are super quick. And if, Gaffleone, Tyler's in town and rides it, I think that's kind of interesting in itself as well. This horse had a work on December 30th out of the gate, 1 out of 129, 47-3. And that drill that I showed you there on the 17th was probably the worst of all of the workouts, at least the recent ones. But we'll see. Ron Moquette, Gaffleone, in to ride. I think they expect to win with this runner by Petrov. I haven't seen too many offspring of.
Go
this
click
one.
on it. Click on Petrov. I think he's only had 3 or 4 or 5 horses run, but he's got a couple winners already.
Okay, so 8 starts, 2 wins
Yeah.
already.
No first timers, but very small sample.
That's interesting. $1,000 stud fee, but hey, it's Arkansas backyard stallion. That's kind of like what you see, but this horse looks to be doing well, and that's where I landed. Marco, actually, we talked about it all. We got all the races out of the way. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, Asmussen's got one in here with 3 works. I don't know what that's about. Was this thing on a Euro sizer or something? Or
another good John
I guess we don't want the
Ortiz
also eligibles getting in.
The 3 looks good. Had traffic last time. You know, I just got to see John Ortiz do it.
Yeah, Ortiz is gonna wake up. This one it was meant well in debut. It was the 5-2 favorite.
Yep.
So, a little bit of traffic issues there. Lasix now is a 3-year-old. So, and they gelded it. They gelded it before the last race. All right. That's going to be fun to watch that. I'm interested, Chris, in your horse the most. I just want to see what happens there with that runner. Let's close out the pick 5 with a 10,000 claiming event going the short stretch of the mile. And these are 4-year-olds and up. And even though this is a conditional claiming race for 10, these are decent horses being at Oaklawn Park. Actually, Marco and Chris, you guys land both on the 5. Marco, you want to start us off with that 5, and we'll let Chris, follow behind that. You got Man on the Moon.
Just to keep it short, we're stretching out, and I want speed, and I hope he's on the front end all by himself. I think there is a little bit of speed in the race, but I think this one can get out there in front of everybody and just keep going. That's pretty much my.
Okay, Chris.
Exactly the same. You got the bug boy on him. We're going from sprint to route. I'm hoping they just send and take him as long as they can take him.
Let's go 20-1, man.
That's it.
Yeah. Joseph Belmer. I used to call him Bielmir, but he told me, yeah, my name's Belmer. His idol was mind that bird. Why am I?
Calvin
Burrell.
Yeah.
And he rides like him. He likes to go up the rail all the time. So if he doesn't get the lead, he'll go right to the rail and he'll try and weave through traffic there. So
yeah, he's pretty good.
He's still a 5-pound bug. I'm assuming he'll. How does that designation? He's got 39 wins. Is that what that is? Or no? He's got. Do you need 50 wins or 100 wins to lose your bug? I forgot. Something. Maybe
I was
somebody
talking
can
about
tell
it
us.
all the time. We never remember.
Yeah. This is from Tom on the last race. Petrov was a Moquette train. Oh, good. All right. So anyway, Man on the Moon, big balloons, 20-1. I'll be rooting for you guys. The 9 for me, Lucky Boss. We just got a huge, big class drop. Even the horses at Hawthorne, Ardenwood, Megan's Honor, Nova God, great. We got huge Bigley in there. Mandolin Win. The Thunderer ran a big race yesterday. Let me see. I thought it won, but maybe it didn't. I can't remember.
He ran second.
He ran second with an 86 Beyer speed figure. Huge Bigley's been doing some good things. Won the last race, and then Mandolin Win, of course, won next time out as well. So just a really tough race there. And now they're getting real. So this is where they want to get a win. This is where you can get a win. It's ugly. I'm equating this, and again, it's Cipriano and Esquivel again. So this is the second time I'm picking these connections today. But I'm equating this race like the biggest drop in horse racing, a maiden special weight to maiden claiming. That's how I'm viewing this, because it's been running over its head It did win an A other than last year when it was in better form, but if it was in that form, we wouldn't be running here regardless. So I think it wakes up a little bit here, cutting back, and it should be. It should run much better. That was my thinking here. Bob, you're on the 7, who is
Right.
family tradition. I remember picking this horse earlier in the meet. Tell me what you like.
I found this race pretty difficult. I'm going to close out the pick 5 with 5 different horses, but I like this 7 horse because he's stretching out again with Walter De La Cruz, who brings in some shots. And if you look at the comment line in his last race at 6 furlongs, it says last away, 4 to 5 wide rally. Walter was on him, and he sticks with him. And Cody Rosen's, by my stats, is 27% stretching out. So we'll see if he can do it. But the 9 scares me. The 5 and 6 scare me. I'm going to use 5, 6, 7, 9, 12 to finish. But tough race.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's there's another one later in the card. Me and Marco had the same pick in there, but I was surprised, Marco, you picked it. But man, that's another one like this. You just kind of like, man, you can go in so many different directions. You're 12. I mean, I had a trip note on that thing, 2 back for 75, and I don't know what happened last time, but Tammy, she's got a nice little operation in Arkansas there in Hot Springs,
Right.
and this is an Illinois bred that she claimed. That's
Right.
very interesting. I wonder if
She's having a pretty good meet so far.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing good. And I've been to her farm. We've laid up some horses there in the past, and she's a nice lady.
Right.
So yeah, we pretty much are mixed and matched. We'll see what happens. So the 6, me and Chris has a backup.
Yeah, boring. Chalk.
On a spree. It's one that it's kind of like a saver, right? You just kind of, I guess you can try and beat it with 5, or you just throw it on as a saver. What was that, Marco?
You guys liked your first pick so much you just threw the favorite in there, didn't even look
That's
at
it.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't do that all the time. No, you've seen me do, but yeah, sometimes if you're in a hurry, you'll Christian Torres, Mike Maker, 7-5. All right, throw that one in there. All right, that closes out the pick 5. So we might have big balloons. Pick 5 might pay big today. If you lose the first pick 5, I got good news for you guys. You can do it all over again in race 6. And in race 6, we got another short stretch of the mile for 30,000. Looks like a non-winners of 1 claiming event. What is this? A non-winners of a race since November 8th of 2024. That's not that long. Was that like 3 months? Okay. All right. Well, that's the condition they want to write. Did they write that for somebody? I don't know. But me and Marco are both on the 4. And this is the race I was talking about, Marco. This race, you can go in any number of directions. Again, we got the artist formerly known as Carl Broberg with Julian Le Peru riding, which isn't very common. They usually ride Harry Hernandez or Christian Torres. Listen, they claimed this horse a year and a half ago. All right. And this horse used to be an oldie but goodie. Has made a lot of money. They waiver claim it in October, and they waiver claim it again. Now it's in for the 30. But why not drop it even lower if you don't think it's feeling somewhat better? I just think this old guy might have one more run left. And there's a lot of pace in here. So there is another horse if you wanted to pick that one on top for the pace. I get it. But I think the race might set up. It's not a mile and a 16th, but at this distance, we round out almost 50% in the exacta at this short stretch of a mile with this runner. So, and that was against Tougher. So I'm going to say, why not? Let's do it. Let's go with Soneman at 15-1. and they're taking the hood off. I don't know if that's going to help or not. Marco, what did you like about it?
Pretty much everything the same you just said. Ton of pace. And that was my problem. I was trying to figure out who the heck was going to get the lead and keep the lead and all that. And I was like, I'm going to look for a closer here, because how many of these horses are going to, which one's going to keep the lead? And it's kind of like you're gambling on if this horse is all right or not, with the waiver claims and just the lack of runs in the last couple of years. If you're starting it, he's got to be healthy, is my thinking. And the trainer is, the dude's good. So, La Peru is good, having a hell of a meet. To me, it's like, why not? Listen, you claimed it 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. You waiver claimed it. Why not throw it in for 12.5? Just like win, get your money back. Let it get claimed for 12.5. If somebody wanted to claim it, they probably wouldn't. Maybe they would. And then you got a $33,000 purse for 12.5. They stay here. That there's a pace. There is another runner though, Bob. I did watch that replay last time, and this one does have a late kick.
Right.
I want you to check the start here.
Right.
Of Logical Magic. Right. We are in the 8 hole. Myth. Yeah, the 8 hole here.
And
flare
off. Logical Myth stumbled badly at the break and is well out of it early.
So that wasn't good. We don't have to watch the whole race, but you get the gist of it.
Sets up shop behind them in third with American.
The other thing is it's the other like perceived, known, confirmed closer. So what do you like about it? You got Christian Torres on it as well.
Right. I'm just looking for a closer because I thought the race had a lot of speed. Again, Torres at 20-1. Jordan Blair had a hell of a meet last year. This year he's not doing much. I'm waiting on him to catch fire. But he's dropping. Heck, last year this horse ran against Silver Prospector a couple times, and that bad start cost him. And I just think at 20-1, he's worth using in your exactas.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I thought about it. This was a race. I looked at 5-6 horses and
right.
For whatever reason, I got this one maybe as my third choice, but it could very easily be my top pick. I almost made it my top pick, believe it or not, looking at the replay and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with these wise guys here, man. They got this horse here. Something's fishy with Sonoman. It might be ready to rock today.
Right.
I don't know. It was just a hunch, put it that way. Chris, the 3 is Pat's Property. Man, this is another one that I like. And you see I pick it second. And I saw this horse win at Hawthorne. It beat Hard to Fathom, a horse that my dad owns who was in really great form at the time. Beat him like a drum by 5 1/4. And this horse showed the ability, it looks like on paper it just needs the lead. It showed the ability in that race to rate just off, believe it or not, and it drew off. So it might get the grip.
Yeah, the more I look at this race, I think I love this horse. What I really noticed is that this it's an older horse, and the same trainers had him forever, and they have the same kind of pattern as last year. Ran some really nice races at Oaklawn last year, after summering in Indiana and Hawthorne, then laying off to December, and then kind of working his way back with a race at Oaklawn, and then popped with 2 straight, monsters. And they did the same thing this year. Summered at Hawthorne, laid off to December, ran a race. I think the last race might have been, I think he had some serious traffic early. And so I just kind of draw a line. I think you're looking for a big step forward back to that same level that he was at last year around this time. So I like this horse a lot. I don't see as much speed in the race as you guys. Okay. I think one's going to go But I think the 3's either going to get the lead or be right close and have the first crack at the top of the lane. And I really like this horse today.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I almost picked it on top as well. It would the 3, the 4, and the 5. I was like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and I landed on the 4. But it could have been this one. It could have been Bob's pick. All 3 of these horses will be on my tickets and trifectas, whatever. I don't know how I'm going to bet the tournament, but 100% this horse is, I think, live today, especially after, if you could draw a line through that last race. I saw this horse live too, and if the pace, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, it could be quick. It might not be quick. This horse doesn't need the lead, though. That's where I'm getting at. And if somebody thinks it needs the lead, you're wrong. I just watched a replay of the Hawthorne race. It rated very nicely. Here's our friend Poulter or Marco that doesn't even make my cut,
I know I took this horse a lot of times.
Yeah, we did well with it last year. Won 3 out of 4 starts there, and we picked it like 2 or 3. I picked it at least twice. I know you did. All right, well this is going to kick off the pick 5. So
it's a fun race.
It's going to be interesting.
Another easy one.
Another easy one. Race 7 is an optional claiming 20. Starter allowance for 16. And so you can run for a tag for 20. Or if you've run for 16 or less, you're protected. And this race here, I ended up going to me and Bob are on the same horse. So that's good, I think.
Yeah.
Circle Back Jack. So this horse last time was pinballed out of the gate. I guess I could show just the start of the race real quick. It ran dead last in a 5-horse field, but the 5-horse field, we'll get into it. But look at the 5-horse here.
We're ready to go. And
Boom, 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 boom.
Devil's Tower
And now
runs
you're
the
last.
break. Disco
Now,
Ball right up alongside though at once, and Disco Ball is a short.
that's not good, but it's not good when you especially do it against the field that he ran against. So if you just click on that race, you could see that Disco Ball, Devil's Tower came back with a 99 buyer speed figure, and Disco Ball for Jacobson's been doing some crazy stuff himself. Marco Spankster is one that you picked last year at 30. There it is, 34-1. Remember that, March 9th? I remember you picked this runner. It's capable. 91 buyer there, 88. Yeah. So anyway, and even the horse this one, Breslau. This one's a good runner too. 7 wins and 20 starts, $250,000. So just a really tough race, and to get pinballed out of the gate, I thought we just got compromised there. And this is just a night and day, just much easier race. And I think we're dropping from that 32 back where it ran a monster race. And I think we run that same race. Bob, follow up. We got Gennaro Garcia.
I agree with you. I think this could be a single. Garcia's got 2 horses in here, the 4 and the 9. I assume he's going to scratch one. Probably the 9, and if he does, that's more incentive to pound the 4. But that last race in the mud, which the horse doesn't like, bad start. Garcia's, still on fire. He cooled off a little bit, but he's still good. He's got 2 in here, and I'm going to watch the scratches, like I said. And and if he scratches the 9, then that's another confidence booster for me. So I like this horse quite a bit.
Yeah, I do too. And, that race off that little layoff was beautiful. And look, you can't start against, you're going to see Disco Ball and Devil's Tower. You're going to see Disco Ball in a stake. You might see him in the Count Fleet.
Exactly.
That's how good that horse is right now. So It's going to have to beat Wendelson, and it's going to have to beat Banishing, but that's a whole nother story. All right, Marco, you and Chris are on the 8, so it's me and Bob versus you two guys. You got I'm No Joke. Now, I'm No Joke is probably a similar runner. Ran a big race at Remington. Was a little wide last time out in the 9-hole. Claimed into a new barn, though, from the artist formerly known as Carl Broberg. What are you going to do there? Harry Hernandez, though, stays aboard.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
You know, I thought that race last time, you know, he likes to be a little bit closer to the front, and he got a rough start. He was 5 wide. He was even coming pretty strong at the end, and he had to even kind of pull back. He got a horse kind of, you know, bared out on him in the end, and so that 3.5, 3 3/4 margins probably should have been more like 1.5. I just think this is a strong horse. I like that the Harry the Hat stays up on him, and I thought it was a tough race, and I like that last race for the 8.
Okay, Marco,
Yeah.
what did you like?
Yeah, no, I do, and you got the first claim from I'm not sure who the trainer is, but her numbers don't look that bad, so looks like a capable trainer, and it's coming from a good barn, and going to her barn, which appears pretty good. And yeah, and you retain Hernandez, and that was one of my biggest reasonings of staying or picking this horse, just seeing that. So he must think something of it as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had some notes here before. Barn on fire, spot horses aggressively. Oh, that's from the previous.
Yeah, different barn.
Previous.
I will erase that one.
Claim for 21. I must have picked it in that race that last. All right. So anyway,
I want to make a comment on the 3. I mean, don't leave this horse out. Again, he's dropping.
Valley.
Traffic problems. Walters on him. He's going for 20,000 today. He had a pretty good prairie meet, and that traffic problem that he had last time was pretty severe. So
okay.
I think he's got a big shot to run in the try.
All right. Duly noted.
And I would mention the same on the 5. That trainer in limited stock has been pretty live. 3 out of 4 in the top 2 winners. The 5 looks interesting as well to me.
All right. Very good. That would be Lightning Struck. Yeah, it's a good field. It's a contentious field, and I feel pretty good about my pick, though. Me and Bob do, at least.
It's all right. We're going to pound it, right?
We're gonna
side bet, Marco. We get a Marco
side bet
versus Bob and Steve-O.
That's right.
This is for a round of beers.
Okay.
Club soda for me.
Okay.
Yep, me too.
Race 8 is a maiden special weight. We're going 6 panels. Is this the race, Marco, where we have the half or full to Mystic Dan? I'm not sure.
This is the 8 horse again, though, I believe.
What race?
Yep.
Race 8. Yeah. All right. So I ended up not. You said it was the 8 horse. I didn't pick the 8 horse, Marco.
No, that's not correct.
I'm not. No, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, whatever. There's a horse. There's a horse somewhere. There's somewhere on the card today. I'm going to scroll these, Marco. I
it might be the last race.
Maybe it was. Okay. So anyway, I land on the 11 here. I was going to take the 8. The 11 is Gun Runner Charlie. And my notes disappeared on here. I don't know what happened to him, but I had a little bit of a interesting trip in the mud last time, and it's Pete Miller, and we're adding the hood. Oh, I also like, if you look at the last race, Marco, Brodeur. We love Brodeur, and this one ran against Brodeur.
Yes.
And, this horse didn't break the greatest and kind of made a little wide move and ran with a lot of interest. And I think it's gonna wake up a lot today. It does switch barns to Pete Miller. So we'll see if the Pete Miller treatment works. And I do like the company line. Brodeur is one that we've done well with. He's won 2 in a row, and I picked him last time. You picked him the first time. The first time was better than the last time, though, because you got almost 13-1. But nonetheless, it's doing well here, and even El Prestigio has done well. It lost to a horse named Donut God 3 back that came back and won a stake. So
There's that Donut God again.
yeah, Donut God. So I just like the company lines. I like the little equipment change, like the barn change, second time out, and the price is 8-1. So I went there. Chris, let's go down to the 2. Secret Legend.
Yeah, if you don't mind clicking on that replay.
Sure.
This is a good old-fashioned 0 for 36 trainer, 0 for 42 jockey. But I think
Andrew goes
they may have had the winner on this day. What number was it in this race?
Number 4.
Okay. You just got to look for the ponytail.
Yep, I see her.
Yeah.
You're on the rail, and looks like you're okay so far.
Yep, okay so far.
What does Har do? God bless her.
God bless her.
It looks like she could have made a move out to the 3 path here.
Yeah, give it a second. There we go.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a headstrong. Little headstrong.
Keep
A little
watching.
headstrong. Oh, what's going on? What did you do?
So at this point, you're thinking this horse is going to finish last. You know, he shuffles back, everybody goes by.
Oh, geez.
But then the horse continues to kind of show some interest. And again, you
pick
think
a lane.
The horse got nothing left. Everybody's going to pass this 4, right?
Yeah, look at her. She's digging back in.
And she ends up.
Is she going to pass that 6?
Ends up finishing fairly strongly. Again, I think she was like 30-1 that day or something. I don't know if she wins that race.
Oh, yeah, she did pass that 6. Okay.
I don't know if she wins that race, but I think that that horse would have been in that top pack finishing towards the leader. So I'm going to give the
that was pretty.
Yeah. So that's where I landed. Again, I don't love the price, but I think we'll get a bigger price than that.
Okay, so I had something on this horse last time. I think I played this one. 3 next out winners in debut. Go West, Go won on Friday. That must have been the last time it run. I had this notes. 3 other Sibs all won routing, breaking maiden. And
you're looking at the 4 right now, Steve.
Yeah, and then I said drops. Oh, is that? Oh, no, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong horse. Yeah. I was thinking of the 4 of the last race. But anyway, the 4 in that last race looked interesting. I got off that 4 because they went back up to maiden special. Okay, my bad. Okay, so here's the 2. Yeah, that was a fast race. Look at the number.
You know, she's due. She's due.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And I got to tell you, you know, she's gotten this horse in trouble a few times.
Yeah, there's always that possibility.
You know, Klein likes to Klein and her have done a lot of work. Are they married?
Yeah, they're an item.
Okay, now it makes sense because when I see 102 starts, I'm thinking marriage.
Yeah, they're married. I believe they're married, but yeah.
All right, so that's that. All right, so Robert is sticking with his wife here. No, nothing wrong with that. And hey, you know what? Get a clean trip today. That was a pretty remarkable race, and the number came back good. I did mention the 4 because I thought that was the 4 that you picked for a second there. But man, why run this one in a maiden special weight again though? God, if you brought it right back for 50, or you could have. This one, I might have played the 4. I still might have it underneath, but whatever. Bob, you're on the 6 Bond Temps, and I get it. cutting back. You've run against the who's who of Kentucky Derby
Exactly.
horses. Maybe it didn't want to be a router and it wants to be a sprinter, and it's working good.
Right. First time LASIK. Got the coach has got Nick riding for him, who I like that combination. You know, Nick has a tendency, if nothing else, he knows how to send a horse. I think he'll send this horse today. And I think he's a pretty good price on the morning line. I don't have that in front of me.
15 to 1, nominated at a Triple Crown. I think they're going to get away from all the Triple Crown talk now.
Yeah.
I mean, you ran against Sandman and Speed King, and you ran against Coal Battle, and you ran against there's Donut God again, Marco, in the debut.
Yeah.
But
that Coal Battle race has been something. A lot of horses have come out of that race to win. I mean, I think this horse got a big shot today. I agree with Chris about Kelsey, but she just tends to get that horse in trouble all the time. But she's due. That'd be a nice exacta 6-2.
I agree. This one,
You better box it.
This one makes a lot of sense. We'll see what it does sprinting. But it's running against lesser. I mean, it's running. You're a maiden. You've been. Dwayne Lucas won with Muffin Lemon, whatever the hell last year as a maiden. So he was trying to do the same thing with this one this year. It didn't work out, but back to reality.
Chris liked that horse a lot last year. Lemon Muffin, Chris.
Oh God! Did you pick that one in that race, Chris?
I'll say I included her. How about that? Is that better? I don't want to puff my chest too much now.
Well, I think the first time LASIK's on that Lucas horse today, that may make the difference.
Yeah, you know what? I looked at it and I was like, man, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now. No way in hell this horse goes off at 15 to 1, right?
Right.
I think it's a bad morning line. I think it's just so obvious. It's running against just
Bravazzo, the sire. Bravazzo's the old Dwayne horse that he ran like 29 times in one summer, and he's got one winner out of like 26 starters. I don't know. I think you'll get double digits on that horse.
Do you really? Okay. All right.
I don't like it.
Well, it ran fourth in the Smarty Jones.
Yeah.
There was only a 6-horse field, but it only lost by 5. Kale's Angel has been a great sprinter.
Right.
Coal Battle. I picked Coal Battle that day in the Smarty Jones. Unfortunately, I had Sandman in the Southwest, but Speed King was in that same race from Remington, or was it Remington or Delta? There was a big race down there, but people are going to look at the company lines and they're just going to be like, "Oh yeah, this horse ran in a Grade 3." You know how it is at the track. I mean, not everybody's, but it makes sense, Bob. I mean, it's a maiden. It's running against maidens now. So
right.
Marco, did we talk about your horse or we didn't?
No.
What are you going to gate the wire here with Mark Cassie?
That's what I'm going to try to do. I like the works at Oaklawn here for this race. Obviously, he's good enough to get a horse ready off the shelf.
Yep.
And man, he's having a good meet. So
that's
pretty much it. I'm looking.
I just realized 31%. I know he's been winning, but 31%.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I love the Christian Torres, so the irons here. See what happens.
All right. Anything else to add, guys? I mean, my 4, I wish it was in a maiden claiming event. I would have pounded that thing, but not against this group. All right. Let's go to race 9. This is the stake. And Chris, man, you were at I went downstairs and met with Bob in the bar. And while that race was going off, the Houston Ladies Classic was going off. And I crapped out already. I had no money left. But before I left, I told everybody at the table, there's an insane inside bias. You need to play this one horse here for Asmussen. I know he's got 3 in the race. He's going to let this one go. It was Recharge, and a couple of guys bet it at the table and did well. And This horse, being out there in the 3-4 path had zero chance that day. I know we're coming off of 2 weeks rest. I don't care. This horse loves to win. It's run here successfully at Oaklawn, has won a stake, and also ran third in the Apple Blossom. No insane. Chris, do you remember the track bias that day? And you too, Bob.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That was it was I've never seen anything like it. And that's saying a lot. It was that crazy. Recharge won that at 42-1. But I feel like Free Like a Girl is, she's just, I think she's in good form. I look at that last race and she had zero chance with the way that the strip was playing. And she shows up here in a spot that, I don't know, if you could beat the favorite on the outside, there's really not a lot in here. If the favorite runs, like it did its last race off this layoff, then yeah, it's going to be tough to beat. But I'm going to bank maybe a runner that's never run here before, might not run its best race, and Free Like a Girl doesn't have to worry about that insane track bias and wins at a track that she has won at before. So that's where I'm at with Free Like a Girl, number 5. Marco, you
fix your graphic at the bottom.
Oh, did I not change our graphic?
No.
Oh, my bad. Here, let me fix that. There it is. Marco and Chris, you guys are both on the favorite. Do you want to dive into that favorite, Chris, a little bit?
I just think if that horse is ready, she kind of lays over the field. Brendan Walsh has been on fire. Gaffleone comes here specifically to ride that horse. Like I said, if the horse breaks and is ready, I think there ain't nothing else to talk about.
Yep.
I second that. So
yeah, it did win second time blinkers angle last time. That was a good angle, and it ended up winning. And I get it. I agree with you guys. That's probably my exacta. Bob has other ideas here. I love it. Bob, you're looking to the 3, Little Jamie for.
I like that horse.
Mark.
I like it.
Yeah. Bob Medina brings the horse over from Tampa, won the race. I don't know much about Tampa, but if the 6 isn't ready, I think this 3 has a good chance to win, close. A little note about Free Like a Girl. I mean, winningest Louisiana bred of all time, past Star Guitar. I owned a piece of a Louisiana bred named Whole Lotta Mo, and we went up against Free Like a Girl all the time. And if Free Like a Girl hadn't been around, our Whole Lotta Mo would have won $1 million. Instead, he only won a half.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah, but I have a soft spot for Free Like a Girl. I don't know, being a 6-year-old mare now, I'm sure they're going to retire after this year and start having babies. But I'd love to see Free Like a Girl win this race. I just can't bet her. I think the 6 is probably a logical winner, but I'm hoping that he's not ready and that the 3 can catch him.
Bob, you're right. Whole Lotta Mo did lose a lot to Free Like a Girl, but you did get her August 21st, 2021 in a 2-year-old race. It looks like
in the slop at Delta, I think, right?
Well, this was Louisiana. No, wait, hold on. You're right.
25-1.
No. This was the late Louisiana Cup Juvenile for. Is it a $50,000 race? It looks like. But anyway, yeah, did. You guys did butt heads with her a lot.
A lot early on, and man, she kicked her ass.
Well, I'm hoping we won't see a track bias like we did in Houston, and
right.
And I will point out though, your pick did break its maiden here at Oaklawn.
Right.
So it broke its maiden impressively against 2 next out winners. So, and it won by 6.5. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, getting back here.
This this, on the pick 5 sequence, you could almost go all here. Maybe not use the 2. I mean, but it's or the 4. I mean,
Yeah,
and
of course. Yeah.
and I don't think it's a lot. But you know what happens when I go all, the 6 will win.
Oh yeah, if you go all, it's going to be the 3-2 shot that wins every time.
Right.
Yeah,
Always.
Always.
that happens every time. But this is going to be a fun race. It's a compact
Right.
field, which is rare for Oaklawn, but it's 250,000. We got some nice mares out here, and it'll be fun to watch nonetheless. Okay, we're going to close up.
Wait, don't leave the 2 out if you're going all now. They're gonna that horse. They're
Okay.
gonna quarter horse that horse out of the gate, and you just never know. It's only 6 horse field. That horse could be 9, 10 clear. You never know.
Bob said to include them all, but
He said except the 2. I want to
Except
make
the
sure.
I corrected that. I said except the 4.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't leave the 2 off my ticket, especially for going all, of course. But this one, I mean, she likes to win, and she's fast, and you're right about that. They're gonna shoot out like a rocket. I did have a trip note on this horse at Hawthorne when it went out there on the turf, and it ran a pretty decent race out there. All right, let's close it out. This closes out everything: the late doubles, pick 3s, your pick 5, all that good stuff. Usually this is an Archie-bred race, and this one is not. This is $110,000, 3-year-olds only, going a mile, short stretch of a mile. Might have some, I don't know, Kentucky Oaks. These are fillies, 3-year-olds only, so you might have some fantasy or Oaks runners in here. Maybe, maybe not. Let's change the graphic so Marco don't get mad at me. And in the last race, I land on. We all have something different, which is great. We can all talk about. It's that type of race. So I landed on the 5 horse here. Good Game. It was squeezed at the break last time and wide on the first turn, and now we're getting the Lasix as a 3-year-old. All the 3-year-olds get Lasix if they want it. And Christian Torres is in the irons, and it will be running late. It's I kind of like this one a lot, and it's my top pick. I don't have much more to add besides it's lightly raced and had a compromised trip last time, and I think it's going to run pretty big. Marco, you're on the rail with Frosted Miracle for Kenny McPeak and Le Peru. This combination's done really well to meet.
Yeah, look, this race right here, you could make a case for every single horse in the race. I mean, every horse has a chance here, if you ask me. So I'm taking the second time out. I love the connections. The horse was working really good before that first race there, and it looks like the horse kind of got squeezed out early. And this horse's mother was a multiple graded stakes winner, which they all have pretty good bloodlines. But I'm going to take and I like being on the inside at the mile at Oaklawn. Inside, not the one post necessarily, but somewhere in the inside with the first 4, post positions. So,
yeah, it lost to Necessity in that debut run, and I remember Necessity should have already graduated before that race because she had an awful trip, 2 back. And she was one that me and you pounded and made some good money on. But, yeah, Frosted Miracle, why not? I mean, you said it best at the beginning. I mean, you can look at any of these horses here. Chris, you're on the 10, who also makes a lot of sense. It's 12-1. We got the hood going up for the coach.
Yeah, I love the 10 in this race. Sometimes trainers like to make a change, try to, you got a $625,000 horse that really hadn't kind of met their expectations. But, Dwayne decided we're going to make every change. We're going to stretch the horse out. We're going to add blinkers. We're going to add Lasix. We're going to change the jockey. And so I'm just hoping that one of the changes works, and we should see a little bit better run today.
That makes perfect sense to me. You said
Dude,
it
that's
perfectly.
another horse. That's another horse. Yeah, I was looking at dude, this race. This race I spent the most time on. I couldn't make up my mind.
Tough race.
That's
So Bob with the red pen goes to 10 Strike Racing's Lobby Rendezvous. Marshall Graham will be watching this race with some interest, and
Right.
tell us what you think.
I don't like the post. I agree with Mark about being on the outside is bad at a mile at Oaklawn. But I went back and looked, or that race that this horse ran at Churchill on the 23rd, and where he was fifth, the Girl Math.
Okay.
Girl Math turned out to be a pretty decent horse. Not great, but good. And then got the mud last time. I like the fact that Arietta sticks with the horse, and I like the trainer quite a bit. Cher's underrated. I think he's a good trainer, and hoping that he tucks in, he breaks, tucks in on the rail, and can close.
Okay. Yeah. Again, it's another runner that just needs a little bit of racing luck. It's just as fast as anything else in here and has every right to move forward being a young 3-year-old.
Right.
So I think we covered all that. There's got to be some other ones. Me and Marco have a backup here on the 4, Princess M2 for D'Amato. And it was one that caught a little bit of an off track. It's cutting back slightly here. I thought it ran a sneaky, decent race in there. Another one getting the juice, of course. And the 8 is one that I remember this one for John Ortiz. I remember I have some notes here. I worked with a horse named Devil's Fork, who I was all about. The Devil's Fork's going to win, and it ran like crap. But I remember Devil's Fork outworked this one and the stablemate Castle Gap, who's running, I think, on the undercard. But Castle
This is
Gap,
the Mystic Dan horse.
this is the one that is the Mystic Dan. That's right. I have it written right there. All right. So this is Mystic Dan's half. And there it is. All right. So that makes sense. So this is your backup play. And it's one that I was thinking about, but I just, again, it fits. Maybe it'll do a little bit better on the stretch out.
Sometimes all you need is a little Tyler Gaffleone to get you off a bad streak.
You got Tyler in the irons. I just remember it got outworked by a couple of stablemates, but hey, those were just works. I mean, now
Tyler could have been on the plane drinking champagne after Loved wins the last race, and he decided to stay and ride for Ortiz. So, I think there's something to it.
Okay, you're right. And Ortiz, like we mentioned, just a matter of time before he might bust out here. He's got some good horse flesh. So this is one. This one's bred well. And being a filly, you're always going to protect this one just because of the half brother. She'll have some broodmare value for sure. Good stuff, man. Holy cow. I'll tell you what, I think we got a great show today. We're live, but everybody can watch it on YouTube. By the way, everybody, you guys can like and subscribe if you like this content. We bring it to you twice a week, usually Fridays and Saturdays. Sometimes we have an occasional Monday. We just do our sheet for Sundays because we got a lot of stuff going on Sunday. I got to ask you guys, the Super Bowl, Bob, what's your bet? Who do you like? Do you like the total? Do you like a money line on a play? Where are you going?
I'll watch the game, but I don't have any betting interest in there. I don't like either team.
Okay.
I grew up a Cleveland Browns fan, so I'm used to getting kicked.
Oh man. Well, they took your team away and then they won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Oh God.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, that happened, but I remember when I was a little kid, one of the first playoff games I ever watched was Bernie Kosar with the game-winning drive. So everybody thought.
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
tough one for you.
Well,
Are you-
I go back to the Jim Brown, Frank Ryan era. So
Jim Brown, one of the goats, one of the best ever. I'm partial to Walter Payton. Others are partial to, I don't know, Barry Sanders. My dad says Gale Sayers, but Jim Brown is, in everybody's conversations, is one of the best running backs of all time.
Right.
If he's not in your conversation, I actually have to say one thing, not to get too far off the subject with the Super Bowl, but Bo Jackson, if he stayed healthy, I think might have been the greatest running back of all time.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, and I'll say that proudly. He was unbelievable. Chris, what do you like in the Super Bowl?
Take the over on Taylor Swift appearances and purple Gatorade. That's all I got.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's going to be purple Gatorade and the over. Okay,
the Super Bowl's for prop bets and just to have
I'm not a
fun.
fan of the Super Bowl. I just, who wants to watch this game? I don't know.
Listen, I have to admit, I wanted Detroit versus Buffalo, and we got what we got. I am rooting for the Eagles. I do think the Eagles are going to win. I think. Well, Marco, let me start. Let me go to you, and then I'll close it out.
For what, the game? I want the Eagles to win, but the NFL is not going to let that happen.
Really? Oh God, I have a
Controversy.
conspiracy too, but it doesn't end. Maybe they end it here.
I have no interest in the NFL anymore. I think the NFL sucks. It's a bad product, just like the NBA.
Well,
And
I
the
mean,
only
it's
reason
Super
why I
Bowl
watch the NFL is because I still play fantasy football.
Okay, gosh. Well, do you still you want to pick a winner? You think it's the Chiefs because they won't? Is that where you're going with? They're not gonna. The NFL won't let them lose.
If I'm putting my money on the game, yeah, I'm betting the Chiefs all day long. Even though I do not want them to win, and I don't think, and if it was a fair fight, I don't think they would win.
Well, I'm going to go against the public. Everybody is thinking what you're thinking, and everybody else is thinking that the refs are going to let the Chiefs win. Not so fast. Vegas knows this. Everybody's betting the Chiefs. The Eagles are going to win the game and cover. The game is going to go under. We have two really, really good defensive coordinators. You have Spagnuolo, and you have our guy Vic Fangio, who's been great everywhere he's gone. San Francisco, he was the defensive coordinator for the Bears in 2018 when the double doink cost us a Super Bowl run there. I firmly believe that the 2018 Bears could have made it to the Super Bowl with that defense, but I'll go to my grave with that. Needless to say, I really think this game is going to be a low-scoring, drag-them-out game, 19-16. Eagles win. Saquon Barkley MVP. And I think more than anything, I want him to get an MVP because the running back shelf life is so low. I think he just had a year that will not be duplicated by himself. And his years are numbered. I want him to get a ring. So it's sentimental as well. So I'm going Eagles in the under.
All right.
How you guys like those apples?
I'm going to go to Oaklawn.
You guys playing horses today? Chris, you got baseball or something going on?
Basketball. No horses
basketball. For me. You got basketball going on. Bob, you're going to be where?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and meet Chris's dad and have a beer or two. And
dude,
bet
Big Papa Inman, you kidding me?
Papa Inman, yeah.
Man, he's the best.
There he is. He's been watching the show. I get a little cameo.
He's right there. That's who's been whispering in your ear.
He said he hates all of our picks, but good stuff though.
He hates all of our picks. Oh, that's great. Marco, me and you are going to be in that tournament on Twin Spires. I'll be glued to my chair drinking coffee. I'm going to go meet up though at noon. I'll probably miss the first race. Ben Rothwell is a Kenosha guy, Kenosha kid. He's got 50 fights in the UFC. He's the bare knuckle heavyweight champion. He just knocked out his foe a couple of weeks ago. He's got a brand new gym in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's having a meet and greet, signing autographs. So I'll bring my nephew over there to take a photo. And
wow.
I mean, this guy's like an ogre. I mean, he's 6'5". He's got a granite chin and sledgehammers for fists. I mean, look him up on the internet. Ben Rothwell.
Okay.
Man, we're off the rails now, boys.
So that's what I'm going to be doing. All right. Guys, hey, Chris, thanks for joining in. Bob, I can't wait to see you again at the bar at Sam Houston or wherever else we meet.
Thanks for having me.
Anybody
Thanks for
going to be up
having
in the
me.
NHC this year? Steve, you're in, right?
I'm in. Yeah, I'm looking
And
for
Bob,
my
you're going? Are you in?
Oh yeah, I'm not in, but I'm going.
Marco,
What's that?
you coming to the NHC?
No, I'm not. I haven't really been playing
Yeah.
this year. I pretty much took last year and this year off of playing the NHC just because of my big move that I had to do, and things are hectic. But I'll be back on the trail soon, unless I get lucky and get one in here.
There you
There's
go.
always first chance, last chance.
Steve-O's got a room. You can stay in the other bed.
Yeah.
Listen, I plan on making the trip either way. So
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
yeah, I'm gonna come this year either way. So
Oh, beautiful. We'll see you there then.
I already have my airfare from last year.
There you go.
So
Oh, cool.
yeah, I got
All right, guys. Hey, I
first class
appreciate
tickets.
it. I appreciate it, guys. Good luck today. Good luck in basketball today. Bob, we'll see you again. And hey, as we normally say, let's cash some tickets.
All right, get 'em up.
Sounds good. Goodbye.
Later,
All right, guys.
later, everybody.
Later.